Hey everybody, come on in, come on in. Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome to Food Talk TV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie, and I am Maggie the Substitute Teacher because I cook with sugar substitutes, dairy substitutes, and gluten substitutes. So today we are making chicken tenders, all right? So if you like chicken fingers, today is your day. Today is Team Savory. I saw another recipe come up in my feed that I wanted to recreate. Have I ever done this before? No. Has that ever stopped us? No. So we're gonna fry some chicken today. This is comfort food. This is something that the kids could like. Ladies, you could cut this up over a salad, and gentlemen, you could just eat it probably out of the skillet. All right, so make sure you are subscribed to Food Talk TV. There's different cooking content every day of the week, and I'm with you all Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. I already need my struggle fan, so we're gonna go ahead and turn this on. Hopefully it's not too loud for you all. And then I'm gonna show you the video that we're recreating today. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me wipe off the counter and wash my hands, and then we will get our ingredients out. Make sure you're tapping and sharing. Thank you all so much. And make sure if you want the recipe, you can get it at FoodtokTV.com. All right, so let's clean up. If there's another way to eat, do you all call them chicken tenders or do you call them chicken fingers? I'd love to know what you all call them. Or do you call them chicken strips? Or do you call them fried chicken? What do you call the boneless chicken cutlets that are battered and fried? Let's make sure we got the fruit up off the counter. Y'all know how it goes. Come on in, everybody. Make sure you tap and share. Thank you for liking the live stream. And thank you for following Food Talk TV. Happy Friday. Yay. Let me go ahead and clean my hand. All right, so this is another recipe inspired by Low Carb Love. She's another mom on the internet. She's lost 100 pounds and she has a whole bunch of low carb recipes, so I get a lot of inspiration. So I'm gonna play the video for you all and then we will pause it and we will follow along. So let's see what we're making today. Oh.
So good. If you are a chicken tender lover, you are absolutely gonna love this. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds. I've been maintaining my weight for over 15 years. So today we are gonna be making zero carb chicken tenders. Zero carb. Obviously, my voice, it's coming back. I lost my voice.
Thank you, Jenny, for the badges. Hello, Jenny.
But I want to share with you, this is kind of like an updated version of one of my old chicken tender recipes. This one here is made with protein powder. It's an unflavored protein powder. That's kind of like the little secret ingredient that you can use to literally make like chicken nuggets.
Thank you all for coming in.
Now, what we have here, seasonings. Seasonings, this is what I use. You can always throw more, you know, but it's very, very basic. We have onion, garlic, paprika. I'm gonna just show you how we throw this together. Guys, it is so easy to make these. I feel like sometimes certain recipes, you just think like, I'm not gonna make them because they're like hard to make. Absolutely not. So we have our chicken tenders. I got another bowl for our eggs, and then we have our protein powder. So here, what we're gonna do is I have some freshly shredded parm. So I'm actually just gonna toss that right into our protein powder.
Okay, so let's pause there and get everything out. So we are going to make chicken tenders and we are going to bread them with protein powder mixed with, she's using Parmesan, but I have another substitute for you all. So let's go ahead and get our station out and our ingredients out. I actually did print the recipe as well, so I'll give you all some measurements, all right? So first things first. Let's get started with the chicken. Now you can use, I guess, any chicken pieces. Now chicken tenders are usually boneless. So I went ahead and bought the chicken tender loins. You could also use the chicken breast and just cut it yourself. That's an option, but just to save a little bit of time, this is what I bought just from Publix. So I'm gonna open this up. Some of y'all are team wash your chicken. Some of y'all are team don't wash. We'll go ahead and wash it, but do what works for you. So you can see this is just skinless, boneless, and it's already cut into the tenderloin pieces, all right? So I am gonna get a big bowl, our big chicken bowl, and I'm gonna open this up and put them in the sink with some water, and we'll just squeeze a little bit of lime juice on them. Thank you, Sergio, so much for the badges. Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you all so much for coming in. We're at 35 likes. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes. Make sure you tap the screen and make sure you are subscribed to Food Talk TV. Welcome in. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I am Maggie the Substitute Teacher. All right, let me just go ahead and put these in here. So this is the size that we're working with. And the recipe calls for 1 pound of chicken tenders, and this is 1.78. So this is more chicken than we need. But I was thinking about doing 2 batches and doing 1 batch in the fryer. We're actually gonna fry, I usually don't fry, and then doing another batch in the air fryer. She says that you can do this recipe in the air fryer, but if you want the juiciness, she recommends deep frying. So usually what I do the first time, I always make a recipe with their format, and then after that we can doctor it up on our own, okay? So let's go ahead and rinse all this off, and then I'll just squeeze some lemon in it so everybody feels a little bit better, all right? Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Irma, for the badges. All right, so we have our chicken, just so everybody can see. And if you have fresh lemon, even better. I don't. So we have a struggle substitute. I do have lemon juice though. You know what? Let's do that. Well, it's okay. I'm gonna put some lime juice and we'll do some lemon juice too. All right. I forgot I had this, and a nice little cocktail if you want to make a substitute Sprite, lemon juice, lime juice with your sugar-free sweetener of choice in sparkling water, or you could do a limeade or lemonade, all right? So let's go ahead and just toss these around, and then we're going to rinse them. And then the next step is we need to make sure that our chicken is patted dry, all right? Especially when you fry, you want to make sure that it's not wet with water, because that will splatter. Also, if it's dry, it'll help the seasonings to stick on there. And then, you know, these came fresh, but if you had frozen chicken tenders, then you want to make sure that you thawed them and got as much of that water off, those ice crystals off, as you can. All right, so let's go ahead and rinse that out, and then I'm going to get a cutting board. And I just like to line this with paper towels, and I'm gonna pat our chicken tenders dry, all right? Come on in, everybody. Welcome to Food Talk TV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher, and today we are making 0 carb chicken tenders. If this works, this could be a game changer, y'all. All right, so let's rinse off our chicken. All right, so I am gonna grab some paper towels and put on the cutting board, and then I'm just going to put our chicken tenders directly on here, and then I will cover with another paper towel. All right, and I do this whether it's chicken, whether it's fish, steak, pretty much any protein. You want to make sure that it's as dry as possible. Splattering a little bit. You want to make sure that it's as dry as possible. So again, the recipe calls for 1 pound, but I have 1 3/4 pound. So maybe I'll just do, you know, 1 batch, all right? So let's dry these off. So I'm just going on top with a paper towel, and I'm really gonna kind of give it a press, see if I can get all that liquid up, all right? Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome to Food Talk TV. We're over 500 likes. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie, and I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Today we are making 0 carb chicken tenders, all right? So we've got our chicken tenders kind of washed off and dried off. I'm just gonna see if I can turn them over directly onto the cutting board, get rid of the paper towel. And let's see what she says next. So she says, clean and pat dry your chicken tenders and then put them in a bowl. So I'll go ahead. I usually season on the cutting board. I guess it really doesn't matter. Let me just rinse out the bowl, and we're gonna put our chicken tenders in there and go ahead and season them. We're gonna season every step of the way. I think the best food is when each ingredient on its own tastes really good, and then when you combine it, it's amazing, all right? So let's just rinse this out. Let me get a towel. A little early for the towel. Come on in, everybody. Welcome to Food Talk TV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. Thank you, Amy, for the badge. I appreciate that. All right, so we have a bowl here. We're gonna put all of our chicken tenders in here. It says clean them and pat them dry. And then you're gonna season them with salt and pepper. All right, so let's see if we can do that in the bowl. Usually for me, I do it flat because we wanna get all of that, all the seasoning in those nooks and crannies, okay? So we're just gonna do salt and pepper Or honestly, you could do any seasoning of choice, and I'm gonna go pretty liberally. I don't have to worry about salt. I do have to worry about sugar. So do what works for you, okay? So we're gonna go in there with fresh cracked black pepper. Hello everybody, come on in. Thank you so much, Amy, for the badges. Welcome to Food Talk TV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I am Maggie, the substitute teacher, and today we are making 0 carb chicken tenders. All right, so I'm just gonna move these around a little bit, and then I'm gonna salt and pepper one more time. And then we're just gonna kind of let it do its thing. So just getting in there with our salt, or you could use your seasoning of choice, any all-purpose seasoning. Now my hands are wet. Oh, my peppercorns are getting kind of empty. It's time to refill them. Thank you so much for the badges. Come on in, everybody. We're over 500 likes. Oh. All right, season it until your ancestors tell you to stop or your arm gets tired. Y'all know I don't have hand strength, but I did season it pretty liberally, so I'm just gonna leave these here to rest. The longer you can season it, honestly, you could do this in advance. You could go ahead and salt and pepper down your protein. I wouldn't do the breading and then let it sit, because I think if you bread it and then let it sit, the breading kind of becomes clumpy and it's not good. But you can absolutely season it. You could do this the night before and cover it. You could do pickle juice. You could do all kind of different seasonings to get that flavor inside of the chicken, okay? So we did that. Let's go ahead and get our other ingredients together. So for this recipe, we need a pound of chicken tenders. I have more than a pound, but this is what we have. And then the breading substitute is going to be unflavored protein powder. I don't have unflavored protein powder. I got every other flavor. I got vanilla, I got chocolate, I got mocha. So I'm going to use vanilla because it's probably the most neutral. But if you do have protein powder lying around and you're tired of drinking it, I love coming up with ways that you can use it as a recipe. All right, so whatever protein powder you have, you can give it a try. Not all of them are made equal. None of this is sponsored. I'm just showing you all what I use. This one is called Designs for Health, and I got this one off of Amazon. But this is the vanilla protein powder, and the recipe calls for 2 cups. So you need a lot of protein powder. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and scoop out 2 cups here. So since it's vanilla, it's gonna have a little bit of sweet to it, but since I'm gonna dip it in maybe a sweeter sauce, it's okay. But the recipe does call for unflavored protein powder or pork rinds. So if you eat pork rinds and you crush them up, that's very popular in the keto carnivore community, where you can get that crunch without a flour. I'm not keto, I'm not carnivore. Both of them allow you to have dairy, and I have to avoid dairy. So this is a pea protein. It's not a whey protein, but I am not the food police. Do what works for you, okay? So let's get a bowl, and we're gonna put 2 cups of protein powder inside our first bowl. All right, so let me get our cup measuring. So we're gonna use 1 cup. Come on in, everybody. Thank you all for tapping and sharing. Welcome to Food Talk TV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie, and I am Maggie, the substitute teacher. And today we are making 0 carb chicken tenders, all right? If this works out, y'all, I'm already excited. All right, this protein powder is very fine, so when I work with it, it kind of gets in the air, in the air. All right, so there's one. All right, let's do another one. But if this works, if you're a meal prepper, obviously if you fry something, it's best when it comes right out of the grease, as we say in the South. But you could reheat it, you could warm it, maybe in the air fryer, and see how you like it the next day. All right, so 2 cups. Y'all, this recipe better be good, because y'all know good protein powder is not cheap. But I'll try anything once, and then if we don't like it, we won't do it again. All right, thank you for liking the live. Thank you all so much. We're almost at 700 likes. Okay, so we have 2 cups of pork rinds, and then it also calls for 2 eggs. I want to go ahead and get the dry done first. Salt and pepper to taste. So we've salted and peppered our chicken tenders, so I'm just letting this rest. And then it says make your breading, add the protein powder. We're also going to season our protein powder, okay? So we season the chicken, and then we're going to season the breading as well. So she says salt, pepper, paprika, garlic powder, and onion powder, and chili powder. Ooh, I missed the chili powder. All right, so let's go in with the salt. Again, we want the breading to be really tasty. So we put a liberal amount of salt in there. Let's see if we can get some pepper in here as well. Come on in, everybody. Thank you all for liking the live. We're over 700 likes. Welcome to Food Talk TV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I am Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Today we are making 0 carb chicken tenders, all right? So we have protein powder, we have salt and pepper, and then a teaspoon each. Let me see if I have my teaspoon measure. You can eyeball it too. It doesn't have to be perfect, but all right. So we need a teaspoon of garlic powder. So I did grab some garlic powder. This is a staple. So your top 5 seasonings, of course you can use whatever you like, but if you're new to cooking, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and you're pretty good to go. Okay, we got a little extra garlic powder, and then we need some onion powder. Oops, wrong one. Oh, onion powder. In other cultures, like my family's from Ghana, in African culture, they actually get the raw garlic or the fresh onion, and my mom will put it all in the blender and make like a paste. So almost like little bouillon cubes of seasoning, and then when you're making your soups and stews, you just toss it in. They don't like the dried ones, so I think of that every time I use these. But you know, in a pinch, these are great and they're shelf stable. Come on in, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. We're almost at 1,000 likes. Welcome to Food Talk TV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I am Maggie the Substitute Teacher, and today we are making 0 carb chicken tenders, all right? Let me see if I can find the chili powder. We need that in our seasoning. Where are you? Chili powder. I feel like I had some pumpkin pie spice, cayenne, cinnamon. Oh dear. Did I use it all up? All right. I don't see the chili powder. I'm sure I have it somewhere. What's a good substitute for chili powder? I have cayenne and I have paprika. Maybe we should do paprika. Watch me find chili powder when we're done. But come on in, everybody. But honestly, you can season this with whatever you like. All right, so let's go in with some paprika. That'll give us the color. A teaspoon of each, all right? And then we are going to add one other ingredient here. I don't know if you all heard her, but she adds a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. Now here's the thing. If you can have Parmesan cheese, have some for me. If you have the green one that you can just shake in here. But obviously Parmesan cheese contains milk. And since I'm dairy free, I'll show you all what I'm using. All right. So this is Pecorino Romano. This is boar's head, but you can get this at any grocery store. This is my substitute for Parmesan because this one comes from sheep's milk. So when I say dairy free, I can have goat's milk, sheep's milk, plant-based, but something about cow dairy, when I eat it, I get really congested like I have a cold, so I have to avoid dairy, all right? So you can see it's giving you those nice crumbly bits. You can use this as a substitute whenever you're making Italian flavored dishes. It's a nice salty, dry cheese. So that's going to be my substitute for the Parmesan cheese. All right, so let me get a 1/4 cup measure. And we're going to put that in, and that will also add some saltiness and some flavor to our breading. Thank you, Danny, for the badges. All right. So this is what I'm using as a substitute for Parmesan. So I'm just going to get a hefty 1/4 cup and we're going to add that in. Then I'm going to get a whisk and we're going to whisk all of our dry ingredients together. So I'll show you all what we have. So the main ingredient is protein powder. And then after the protein powder, salt and pepper. And then onion powder, garlic powder. Supposed to be chili powder, couldn't find it. So I used paprika, and then I have some Parmesan cheese, or for me, it's Pecorino Romano. And you can get that in your grocery store. Let me get a whisk. So these cheese substitutes that I use, you can find them in a lot of grocery stores, but they're not going to be in the back like where the Kraft cheeses are. They're going to be, you all saw this one is Boar's Head. They're going to be in the front where the deli items are. So that's where you can look for a lot of the cheese substitutes that you see me using. All right, so we're just going to get a whisk and we're going to mix this up so our seasoning tastes really good. And I'm going to taste this seasoning. I know it's protein powder, so it's going to be a little bit sweet. Remember, the recipe calls for unflavored, but this is what I got. All right, thank you all so much. We're over 1,000 likes. Welcome to Food Talk TV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I am Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Today we are making 0 carb chicken tenders, all right? So I think this is where we stopped in the video. So let's see what the next steps are, but I'm just going to give this a taste. All right, I'm just going to use this. Ooh, I like it. Now, you know what's funny? Because I'm using vanilla protein powder, it kind of tastes like kettle corn. You know how kettle corn is salty and sweet? So don't let that throw you. I'm liking it, but if you don't like sweet, make sure you use an unflavored protein powder like the recipe says, or pork rinds, all right? So let's continue on. Come on in, everybody. Let's see what's next.
We are going to do our eggs.
All right, 2 eggs.
So for our chicken, we're gonna do kind of a little bit more basic where we're just gonna do salt and pepper. And into our coating, because this is gonna be the coating to our chicken tender, is where we're gonna go a little heavy. We're gonna go hard on that, okay? So we're gonna start off with garlic powder. Because you wanna make sure it has good flavor. I mean, come on.
She looks
okay,
a little heavy-handed.
A little bit of paprika. You can use sweet paprika.
She said
smoked
paprika.
paprika. You know, whatever your little heart desires. And we have onion powder. I know a lot of people do need recipes, so I already have it measured for you. So that'll be in the description, okay?
It was just a teaspoon of each, whatever seasonings you like. And we did that step, so we mixed up our dry.
Now, typically I just do the seasoning on the coating, but I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna do it all.
You know what? Let's do the same.
And we're gonna just give our eggs.
And then we'll whisk our eggs, and I think
So
we're good to
pretty
go.
much ready to go. Basically, this is how simple it is. You take your little seasoned chicken tender. We're gonna dunk it into our egg wash and right into our protein powder. And there you go. You have a nicely coated chicken tender. And I'm just gonna do that for all of these really quickly. I have a few more, and then we're gonna move over to the stove, and I'm gonna show you how nice and crispy these get.
All right, so let's go ahead and stop there. We're gonna do a couple more steps, but while we're doing those last couple steps, I wanna go ahead and get the oil heated up so that as soon as we bread them, I'm ready to fry them, all right? So I'm just gonna move this over to the side for just a second. Come on in, everybody. Welcome to Food Talk TV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher, and today we are making 0 carb chicken tenders. What we have so far for the breading, this is protein powder. The recipe calls for unflavored, but I used vanilla because that's what I had, so it's a little sweet. Salt, pepper, paprika, garlic powder, and onion powder. All right, so we seasoned our breading, and we're gonna do the same with the chicken tenders. But let me go ahead and get our cooktop. I'm very excited if this works. And I'm not a big fryer. I like the air fryer, but we will go ahead and she's gonna shallow fry. So we will fry some. Are you all team deep fry, pan fry, shallow fry, or air fry? You can put it in the chat and I will, I'll see what y'all are saying on TikTok. Okay, so I'm going to use the cast iron. So we're just gonna turn this on, and I'm actually gonna turn it up. And look, all I have is vegetable oil, okay? I am not the oil police. Use whatever oil works for you. I know avocado oil, olive oil, all of them are better. This is not the best, but we're recipe testing, all right? So I'm just gonna go like that much, maybe about halfway through the pan, all right? And I wanna go ahead and let the oil start to heat up. I'm gonna push it away from me while we continue to season, and then we gotta get our eggs and our breading. But let me push this back while it heats up. All right, so it wasn't in the recipe, but she said to season the chicken the same as the breading. So I'm just gonna go in there. So we're gonna go in with some paprika. So far, all we have on the chicken is salt and pepper, but I'm gonna season it pretty liberally with paprika. It's not spicy. It just gives you a nice like smoky flavor if you like that, or you can do any all-purpose seasoning of your choice. All right, and then next we have onion powder. So I'm going to go in pretty liberally. So again, this will give us that double flavor because our breading has these seasonings and now our chicken's going to have these seasonings. And then I'm almost out of garlic powder, but we're going to use this one. Come on in, everybody. Welcome to FoodtokTV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm with you all Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Central. All right, so we already have salt and pepper. So we added 3 more. Let me get some tongs and just toss it up. Or you could absolutely use your hands as well too, if you don't mind getting in there, all right? Nothing wrong with it. You cook your way. Have it your way, Burger King. All right. So we're just gonna move these around. And we really wanna get all of that seasoning. I kind of season until I don't see any more bald spots, all right? So come on in, everybody. Ooh, it smells amazing. Now, of course, I'm not gonna taste it because this is raw chicken, so we're just gonna eyeball this one. And I think I'm going to toss it a little bit and then I'm gonna season it some more just because when we turned it over, it's a little bit bare, all right? Our oil is starting to heat up. I start to see a little bit of ripples in there. You could use a thermometer, that's fine too. But my mom taught me to cook with all of my senses, okay? So don't just set it and forget it. Get in there, taste as you go as long as it's not raw. Watch it, watch the color change, you know, take it out before it burns. Listen for it. When that popcorn slows down, you know, go ahead and take it out. Smell it. Make sure you catch it before it gets too much char on it. All right, so I think this is good. We just turned this over. Come on in, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome to FoodtokTV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I am Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Today we are making 0 carb chicken tenders. So if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, or you're just trying to watch all of that breading in your fried foods, maybe this could be an option for you if it works well. All right, so I think this is looking better. I feel better about our chicken. It's kind of nicely coated, all right? So we'll move that to the side, and then we need 2 eggs. So we have another bowl here. Let's go ahead and, I did get some eggs out. Here they are. All right. We have our 2 precious eggs. So let's go ahead, the oil, I'm starting to smell it. So let's go ahead and put 2 eggs, and we're going to beat these eggs for our egg wash. And I kind of feel like doing like a double batter. Is that greedy? I don't know. But you know how, what recipe was it? We did the dry and then wet and then dry. That's what I'm feeling like doing. All right, so let's beat these eggs. And then I think we're ready to assemble and fry. So we just want to, the egg is going to be that binder to make sure your breading stays on your chicken tenders. So you could do this probably with any chicken pieces, but this recipe is for chicken tenders. All right, so we've got that nicely combined and lightly yellow. All right, so let's watch her, and then we are going to get our station ready to fry.
We're moving over here to the stove. We're gonna cook our chicken tenders super crispy. I cannot wait for you to see how they turn out. I made myself a quick little electrolyte drink. The ones from Element. I just started like venturing out to different flavors. If you have like those things, because it's really, really important doing like a freestyle / low carb look. I would do the avocado oil because it has a really high smoky point.
Avocado oil.
So now we're gonna do some avocado oil. I'm gonna do more of like a shallow fry. We're not gonna do a deep fry.
Okay.
Okay, if we need more, we'll add a little more. Let this get hot. We're gonna do it like on a medium high heat, not high because you want the inside of the chicken to cook as well. If you have like a food thermometer, then you want to make sure it gets to 165. Chicken is always 165. All right, let's go ahead and put this.
All right, so we're gonna put our chicken tenders down.
Nice and fluffy and crispy. Okay, so these are not. It's not like a little janky recipe. Like this is actually very yummy. And it's literally like a low carb. I mean, it's literally like a traditional chicken tender, but without all the bad stuff.
So I think we'll go ahead and batter them
Let's
all.
just do like 4. I don't want to overcrowd
Okay, 4.
it because I still want it to be nice
And then we'll fry them all at the same time so they're done together.
Crispy and cooked all the way through. You want them to cook evenly, and in order for them to cook evenly, you want to try to keep the oil as even and hot as possible. When you overcrowd it, it changes the oil temperature, and then things don't cook all the way.
I'll turn the oil down because it's really hot.
We're gonna let them get nice and golden brown. I want them to cook internally. Make sure that we get to that 165.
And then we'll have to turn them over. Okay.
Oh yes, guys. This is what I'm talking about.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm getting excited. Okay. So we have our egg wash, we have our chicken tenders, and we have our breading. And again, our breading is protein powder as well as Parmesan cheese, but for me, Pecorino Romano. So I am going to get a plate just like she did, and we'll just go ahead and bread them and put them on a plate and then put them all in the fryer at the same time. All right, so let me grab this plate and we'll just use the tongs, do everything like she did. Let's go in order. Yeah. So I'm not dripping too much. Turn the oil down because it's starting to smoke. Our oil is ready. So we're taking our chicken tender. We're gonna go into the egg, and I'm just going to make sure it's nice and coated. And then I'm gonna go into our breading. Okay, I hear you. All right. Is it overheating? Okay. You could do one of these at a time and then just put them in the oil, but I'm gonna get 4 of them ready so they can all cook at the same time and turn at the same time. So I'm just kind of breading them well with the protein powder and the Parmesan cheese. I'm saying Parmesan cheese, but it's actually Pecorino Romano. Hello, Mrs. Smith. Welcome. Come on in, everybody. Welcome to FoodtokTV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I am Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Today we are making 0-carb chicken tenders because we're breading them in protein powder, and my substitute for Parmesan cheese is Pecorino Romano. So this is what we have, and then I'm going to move the breading station and bring the fryer down so you all can see. So into the egg wash, and then I'm just kind of scooping the breading, the protein powder breading on top here. And if you want them extra crispy, you probably could dunk them again, but I think we're good, all right? So I'm gonna do the rest of them. That's about half of the batch. So let's go ahead and start frying. I'm gonna try and move this carefully so everybody can see. So yes, get the kids in the kitchen to help you, but make sure you keep it safe. All right, so we're gonna gently put our chicken tender down, and she recommends a shallow fry. So the oil is about halfway covering the chicken, and then we will watch for color, and then we will turn it over. I'm just frying in vegetable oil. She recommends avocado oil, especially if you're trying to eat really clean. Oil choice is important. All right, so now we're frying up. I'm really excited. All right, so what do you all think? Should we do 2 batches in the fryer, or should we do a batch in the air fryer to compare? You know, there's nothing like, I'm in the South, there's nothing like crispy fried foods, but there's a part of me that wants to try the air fryer. What do you all think? Let's see. Come on in, everybody. Welcome to FoodtokTV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Today we are making 0-carb chicken tenders. All right, so what we've done so far is we have our chicken tenderloins. The recipe calls for 1 pound, but I bought like a pound and 3/4, so I have some extra seasoned chicken. And if you wanted to do, if you wanted to do a naked chicken tender like the Raising Cane's, you could fry these unbreaded if you want just the protein without the breading. All right, so we have our seasoned chicken tenders, and this is salt and pepper, paprika, onion powder, and garlic powder. So I got in there really well. I seasoned it, and then I used the tongs to toss them. I turn them over and season them again. All right, we want to make sure there's no bald spots on the chicken. And then to keep these 0 carb, our batter, our breading is protein powder. So the recipe calls for unflavored protein powder, but I didn't have that. I had vanilla. So mine are going to be a little bit sweet, kind of imagine kettle corn. So a little bit sweet and salty, all right? Thank you all so much for coming in. Thank you, Kelly Smiles, for the badges. All right, so we are frying these up. I'm gonna go a little bit higher on the temperature, and then we will turn them over when they get to the right color. So she says you can do these in the air fryer as well as the deep fryer as well, but we're doing a little bit of a shallow fry. I'm gonna turn it up. See if we can get them going. So come on in, everybody. The recipe is on FoodtokTV.com. Make sure you are subscribed to FoodtokTV. There's different cooking content every day of the week. I'm with you all Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Central. All right. So I'd love to know, how do you all like your chicken tenders? These look pretty big and meaty. So do you just eat them by themselves? If you use a dipping sauce, I'd like to know what your favorite dipping sauce is. Are you all team barbecue, honey mustard, maybe a Chick-fil-A sauce? I'd love to know. I've got a few that I want to try. All right, so these are cooking up, and I'm just keeping an eye on them. We're frying chicken today. All right, thank you all so much for being here. Come on in, everybody. Welcome to Food Talk TV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. I think I want to do the air fryer version as well, just as a test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat the exact same process, but I'm going to air fry them. I think that's what I'll do. All right, so we'll have a batch of fried, and then we'll have a batch of air fried. So I'm going to line this with a little bit of aluminum foil while we're keeping an eye on this, and then we'll coat them and put them on top of the wire rack. All right. If you want to cut the calories and avoid the oil, air frying is an option. If you like them nice and greasy and hot out of the grease, fry them on the stove, all right? So I'm just going to use this rack. Ooh, I'm starting to see some brown color. I'm going to give it just another minute, and then I think I'm going to turn them over. But I'm going to get some cooking spray, and I'm actually going to spray the wire rack so that my chicken tenders don't stick and get clumpy to this. Let's see if that will work. Alexa, set volume to 0. So I got a little Pam cooking spray. My robot has a little, what do you call it? A routine. When it hears water, it starts playing music for Happy Kitchen music. All right, y'all, I think we're getting nice and brown. So before I start battering again, is that a word? We're gonna go ahead and turn these over, all right? Let's see how they're looking. So the first one I did was this one. So be very careful. I think we're getting a nice golden color. I'm getting excited. Now this is making me want to fry all of them. Wait a minute. All right. Let's be good. Let's be good. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and batter the rest. Let me move this plate. We're just going to batter them and put them directly on this and then put them in the air fryer. But the recipe calls for a shallow fry, all right? So with the other chicken tenders, I have seasoned chicken tenders. We're going to go into the egg. I need to move these out of order. Woo, it's popping me. All right, let's get that nice and coated. shake off the excess, and then put it on the wire rack. I think I have 4 in the fryer, and then we'll do 4 in the air fryer. So come on in, everybody. Welcome to FoodtokTV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I am Maggie the Substitute Teacher, and we are doing a 0-carb chicken tender. And instead of flour, we are breading with, I should have set that down, protein powder. Hello, Mustard Queen. Thank you for the roses. We're doing protein powder and Parmesan cheese, but my dairy substitute is Pecorino Romano. All right, so as soon as I get these in the air fryer, because I want to do half air fry, half shallow fry, we'll temperature check these. But just by looking at the color, they're looking really nice. Woo, popping me. All right, let me keep my arm out of the way. So the recipe calls for 1 pound of chicken, and I had about 1 3/4 pounds. So we're gonna do 4 inside. Pull my sleeve down so it doesn't get me. Whew. Almost done with this batch. Again, if you don't have protein powder, you could also use crushed up pork rinds, all right? If you eat pork, that could be an option for you. Whew. I'm gonna do this little one naked, see what happens to him. But yes, you could eat these with dipping sauce. You could cut them up over a salad. You could just serve them with vegetables on the side. If you have kids or picky eaters, I'm sure chicken tenders are a staple, all right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and spray these just so we have, and then I'm gonna put these in the air fryer, all right? So half in the air fryer, half here. Let's temperature check these. All right, so chicken is done at 165. Let's see if we can go in the big part. First, make sure it's on Fahrenheit. All right, 167. Let's check this one. 187. I think we're ready. I'm gonna get a wire rack. 175. 200. All right. So let's carefully take these out. I'm gonna put them on a wire rack. Let me get some clean tongs just so I don't get anything caked on there. That one looks really good. If you have anything else to fry, you can. All right. I'm just gonna carefully push this towards the back so it could cool, but you could drop your fries or whatever you like. Do y'all hear this? Oh, it's this chicken. I'm like, what is still popping in here? I have one other piece. Hold up. All right. There we go. Silence is golden. Speaking of golden, I think these look really good. What do you all think? So let's see how she serves hers, and then we're gonna taste them. I wanna bite into it right now. Let them cool for just a second. I just have them on the wire rack on top of here, okay? So, almost done.
Tender fan.
Oh.
Oh yeah, baby. No, this is seriously a 10 out of 10. I make these for my daughter all the time. You know how kids are. Kids just love chicken tenders. These, I just make a little sauce. There's also, there are some brands now that are starting to make like really clean sauces, which I love. And that's one of the reasons why the more we stay away from like all that processed junk, not eating at like certain restaurants that that we all love, because trust me, I love them too. But I just don't eat there anymore because I don't want to put that stuff into my body. Back in the day, it used to be like, oh, I'm going to go treat myself. Well, no, you're not treating yourself when you are, I don't want to go as far as like poisoning your body, but you're not treating yourself when you are putting all those like processed ingredients and food.
What sauce do we want to use?
It's
Ketchup,
not a treat. You know what I mean?
barbecue,
So
honey
I feel
mustard.
like the more and more we stay away from that stuff, companies are gonna just have to get the point and change their recipe.
Almost
and
dropped
then,
it.
hopefully,
You can also make
the
your
goal
own
is,
lots
we
of
can enjoy
different
that stuff once
dipping
in a while.
sauces.
But until then, we have to make our own stuff at home. Alright, so this is gonna cook a little bit longer because I'm gonna check the chicken and make sure that it is fully cooked.
We did.
So that's gonna cook for about another 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna finish up the batch. Alright guys, so I plated my chicken tenders. Now for the sauce, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually find a very clean, like Chick-fil-A sauce. You can obviously make it as well, but
We could make honey
I just grab
mustard
it at my
with just
local
honey.
Whole Foods. I can leave that link for you as well, but they do have them out there made with avocado oil. But the crispiness on these, okay, the texture, guys, these are so good. If you are a chicken tender lover, you are absolutely gonna love this. It's just so awesome to be able to have one of like our like childhood comfort foods kind of transformed into a healthier version made with clean ingredients that is not going to stall your weight loss journey.
That's
that you
important.
Can literally enjoy to the fullest. Not only do you get to enjoy
I'm
one of
ready.
your favorite foods, but you're also nourishing your bodies.
I'm just moving everything out of the way so we can get a picture.
So let's go ahead and do a little dip. Cheers.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Y'all ready to taste it? I just wanted to make sure they weren't lava hot. Let me plate them and get a picture, all right?
I'm telling you.
All right, so some of y'all like the ones that are extra charred. They're nice and crispy fried again. Welcome to FoodtokTV. Thank you all for over 2,000 likes. Today we made 0 carb chicken tenders because they're breaded with protein powder, and my substitute for Parmesan cheese is Pecorino Romano. So let's get these plated and let's see what sauce I have, and most importantly, give them a taste. All right, I don't think the ones in the air fryer are going to be ready just yet, but that's okay. Let's get y'all, I almost lost it. Oh, that would have been bad. Oh God, hold on, let's get a plate. All right, so we have a plate, and then, oh yeah, oh, these are nice and big and meaty. Some sides are darker than others. Some of y'all like the char. I'm gonna put the pretty side up, but you know, we'll eat either way. They're still nice and hot. And y'all, this is big. This is like a chicken breast. All right, let me get a little condiment container. I feel like this is just too simple, but it's a good thing. Let's see, you could do, oh, sorry, y'all, that's loud. I'm getting excited and start banging things around. Okay, so a couple suggestions for sauces. Kelly says, I was trying to decide between making calzones or Chick-fil-A dupe tonight. Maybe this chicken is a sign. So if you're a ketchup lover, beverages and condiments are a huge culprit for extra calories. So I try to go with sugar-free condiments. I don't think you can taste the difference. A lot of your favorite brands have sugar-free options too. So this is ketchup, no sugar added. I'm loving the G. Hughes sauces. So this is what I'm going to use, this Yum Yum sauce. You could make your own honey mustard with mustard and honey. Maybe we should try that. There's also barbecue sauce. So I think I'll use both of them. Oh, I'm excited. Okay. So let's see if we can get a nice little picture. Since this one is full, I don't even know what Yum Yum sauce is, but they say it's good on everything. So let's go ahead and give this a pour. And this stuff is actually pretty thick and nice. I'll be honest with you, some of the sugar-free and low-calorie sauces that I use are a little bit on the watery side. So I wanted to make sure that we got something that was nice, all right? So let's see what we got here. How did I do? I'm gonna show you all the plate. Let me show you all the recipe. So this was the goal, all right? So we have our chicken tenders and sauce, and this is what we made, all right? So I think we did pretty good. Let's take a picture, and then of course we gotta taste it. I'm so excited. I should not get this excited about food, y'all. But there's a part of me that wants to like put some parsley or something festive on there. But you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Simple is good. So let's take a picture, some with the flash, some without the flash. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, y'all, we did that. We did that. All right, let me do a quick video and I'll get a nice little dunk in here and then give it a taste. I don't want to be greedy, but I do. All right, let's get in there, y'all. I probably should have bitten it without the sauce. Wait a minute! And I don't eat fried food, so y'all, let me have one more. Y'all see it's nice and hot. Hold up. When I tell you, it is so juicy. Let me see if I can take a bite without the sauce. I was worried about the breading. Honestly, y'all, it doesn't even taste sweet at all. I have a little hint of salt, but it has a nice little crunch to it. It's lightly breaded, so you have big old chunks of chicken. Y'all, this is so good. One more, and then we're gonna do another test with the barbecue sauce, all right? Thank you so much, Beth, for the badges. So this is G. Hughes Yum Yum sauce. This whole line is sugar-free, all kind of sauces and marinades, all right? And it's kind of like a cross between honey mustard and Big Mac sauce. So it's kind of giving those vibes. So let's get in here, and then I want to do another one with barbecue. It's the combination of the hot chicken and the cold sauce. Yo, so good! Okay, let's try the sweet and spicy barbecue. You could eat them plain. You could cut these up over a salad. See, it still looks like a full plate. You could cut these up over a salad. You could serve it to the kids with fries, all kinds of things. Thank you all so much for liking the live. We're over 2,000 views. Welcome to Food Talk TV. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie, and today we made 0 carb chicken tenders. So if you're just coming in while I'm tasting, one more. Let's go for the small one. This one's a little bit on the charred side, all right? Let's give this one a taste with the barbecue, sugar-free barbecue sauce. I like the Yum Yum sauce better. This has got a nice little heat to it. I'm so happy. The heat has got me, y'all, I'm excited. These are amazing. Honestly, you can't tell this is not flour. So if you are missing chicken tenders, if you have protein powder laying around, you're tired of drinking it, I've been using it as pancake batter. I've been using it, I think last time we made the soft serve ice cream. You all can go catch that one on Food Talk TV. All of these recipes are up, and today we used it as a breading. So you can still maintain your goals. Again, you know, if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic and you miss the crunch of a chicken tender, and it is nice and juicy. Y'all, it's dripping down my hand. I don't know if you can see that. It's that juicy. It's dripping down my hand. So yes, you can have it there. Some for you. Take a little bite. Am I posting the recipe? So the recipe will be posted on FoodtokTV.com, but I'll just run it through you all if you want to jot it down really quickly as we wrap up. All right. So again, inspired from Low Carb Love, 0 carb, crispy, fried chicken. Here's the recipe the way I made it, because I always make my substitutes. Recipe called for 1 pound of chicken tenders. I used, the pack that I had was 1 3/4 pounds, so I had more than it called for. But you could also do chicken breast and just cut it into strips, or even chicken nuggets if you have little ones so they can hold on to it, okay? Pound of chicken tenders, 2 cups of unflavored protein powder. I didn't have unflavored, so I used vanilla, but it does not taste really sweet. Funnily enough, it just tastes like a really nice breading. So 2 cups of unflavored protein powder, or if you don't have protein powder, crushed pork rinds, okay? That's a great breading option as well. Honestly, the recipe called for 2 cups, and I'm gonna have to toss this because it had raw chicken in it. I think you can go with 1 cup. So save your protein powder because this stuff, is expensive, and this is all I had left over. Protein powder, 2 eggs, beat them for your batter station, and then 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese is what the recipe calls for. But if you're dairy free like me, this is my substitute, Pecorino Romano. This is the grated cheese substitute that I use for Parmesan. So you can get this in the deli section of your grocery store. It's got that salty, dry cheese flavor like a Parmesan, but since it's made from sheep's milk and not cow milk, I can have this, okay? So Pecorino Romano, or if you have Parmesan, Parmesan. So in your breading, the protein powder, Parmesan cheese, 1/4 cup of the Parmesan cheese or Pecorino Romano, salt and pepper, and then all the seasonings that you like, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika. That way when you bite down, the breading has flavor and the chicken has flavor. I would give this a 9.9 out of 10. The only reason why is we seasoned the chicken, about 20 minutes before we cooked it. So I would recommend, if you have time to season your chicken well, maybe cover it with plastic wrap, put it in the fridge or even overnight. That way the flavor gets all the way in there, all right? I would say the flavor has permeated about 50 to 60% into the chicken, but outside it's incredible. And then with the dipping sauce, I'm still gonna eat it. And y'all would eat this too. Y'all would eat this too, absolutely. All right, so your chicken tenders, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika. So the same seasonings that are on the chicken, the same seasonings put in the batter. Wash your chicken if you wash it, but most importantly, pat it dry. You want your chicken dry so that the seasonings adhere onto it, and you don't want that extra water to splatter you in the frying, okay? How are we doing over here? Let's check. Coming along. I'll post it later. So that's basically it. You have your stations. So get your chicken, wet egg, and then the dry protein powder, and then fry. We probably did about 5 minutes per side, and we did a shallow fry. You can deep fry if you like, or you can do an air fryer. In the air fryer, all right? Thank you all so much for the badges. Thank you all so much. Yes, so good. And they come out nice and hot and crispy. And like I said, 9.9 out of 10. But they're perfect. Y'all would eat this. I'm so happy. Okay. Eat them just like this. Serve them with fries. Cut it up over a salad. And even if you don't eat all of this, which I probably will, you could rewarm these in the air fryer and kind of bring them back to life the next day. So that's all that I have for you all tonight. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. I'm with you all Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. I do have my own channel on TikTok and on all your favorite platforms, Maggie the Substitute Teacher. I make food and femininity content. I'm in the Atlanta area. We are having a meetup. It's going to be Friday, April 4th, here in Atlanta at Eclipse de Luna. Excuse me, you can go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. Tickets are $50. You can meet me and Lucy and our students. We're having our graduation reunion weekend. The happy hour is open to everyone. It's going to be at Eclipse de Luna. Unlimited sangria, beer, lots of tapas. Just eat, drink, and be merry, all right? So thank you all so much. Yes, protein powder is something new today, absolutely. So if you got some laying around, give it a try. And I will be back with you all next week for something else amazing, all right? Make sure you're subscribed to FoodtokTV, and thank you for over 3,000 likes. All right, everybody, have a good one, and I'll see you all next time.